This week's episode of DS9 is the fourth episode of Season 2, titled Invasive Procedures. A disgruntled Trill named Varad leads a group of mercenaries to seize control of DS9 during a plasma storm. Varad, who was rejected as a host of a Trill Symbiont, seeks to steal the Dax Symbiont from Jadzia Dax. Now, Varad in the show is played by guest star John Glover, who is most famous recently for playing Lionel Luthor on Smallville. Also, if you keep your eye out, you'll notice a future member of Star Trek Voyager is making a guest appearance as a completely other character on this episode. This week, we have our whole crew back. Jay Hitman is back to liven up the conversations with his own special brand of takes on Cardassian history. But before you start watching, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. And as always, watch good Star Trek.
My God, they're going into the wormhole at full impulse.
All right, guys. Everyone's here this week.
Yay!
Huzzah.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to have some of the contentious arguments we had previously.
Yeah, there's still contentious arguments. I still think it's a bunch of brouhaha.
He will find a way. He will find a way.
No, I find it very clever that the Bajorans or the Circle would go as far as to conjure up a fake manifest thing to blame with a ghoul's fingerprint and blame it on the Cardassians. Just leave it to a Bajoran.
Would you stop referring to them as Gould? You're not helping your cause. It's Gull.
That's what I said. Ghoul.
That's right. You didn't see the episode.
Well, I missed one. I watched the scene.
You missed the one where there was actually a Cardassian on that cargo ship delivering the weapons.
There was.
I didn't see this evidence, Your Honor.
I know. That's right. I mean, I could go back and show it to you, but we'll
was
then
it
spend another
verifiable?
15, 20 minutes arguing.
A verifiable Cardassian, not a...
Yeah, he looked like a spoonhead.
A Nathan Hunt mask from Mission Impossible.
I think you're confusing Nathan Drake and Ethan Hunt.
You can't. Okay, but here, that's neither here nor there. You cannot argue the fact that that's dirty pool to conjure up this elaborate ruse to blame Cardassia. Probably squirt guns. If what you're saying is true and these weapons were actually weapons, they're probably not.
Then you didn't see the episode where they actually used the weapons.
They did.
It's too soon for my brain to hurt like this.
I know.
Adam, I missed you so much. I've missed so much.
Why do we just? Here's a new idea. Let's actually focus on this episode, which we're about to watch.
We should change the name to like handicap match or no, I don't know, because every time I come.
Well, you are quite handicapped, sir. Yes, you are.
Thank you so much. That is the nicest thing you've said today.
Well, anyway, this episode is called Invasive Procedures. It is the fourth episode of season 2, so we are done with the Circle arc. And
that's what I feel like every time we talk about Cardassians being enemies. It's like an invasive procedure. Go ahead, I yield the floor.
So, as we told Fractured last week, yeah, we never see the Circle again. That's it. That's done. So we're done with the Circle. That was the arc. It's done. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
Wait, what?
Now we're on to an episode, which I think is a Dax-centric episode and features as a guest star John Glover.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Circle's done?
Yeah, that's all done. That was finished up last episode.
Literally just a 3-episode arc?
Yeah.
Imagine my surprise when we went into that last episode.
Yeah.
You spent all this time building
There's other
this
stuff
up.
brewing.
You spent this whole time, not you or Adam, but this whole time building up this pièce de résistance, and I only get 3 episodes.
That's all they're worth. Just like the Bajoran.
Once they realized that the Cardassians were supplying the Circle with weapons, there was no reason to continue the arc. The Circle went away. It disbanded.
I believe that, but
very cleanly.
Fortunately, there are other arcs which will be much more drawn out and last a long time. But We don't have to worry about that right now. I believe this is best described as a bottle episode.
Oh,
It's a bottle episode.
Bottle episodes were always ones that took place solely on the Enterprise D. They never went anywhere else. It was just like on the D itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are okay.
Yeah, it can be.
I was saying goodbye to my brother.
His shuttle left 3 hours ago.
Odo's pressing X to doubt on any of this.
Why would you doubt him?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe now this device that's being shown right on the doorway. Thank you, show, for providing me a good answer.
What the hell
Oh,
are you doing? No questions. Major lives.
Is that Worf?
no.
Oh.
They don't all
Does he-
look alike, Hitman.
What do you
But
mean?
you know what he does look like to me? He looks like a
LeBron
Vulcan.
James. It is a Vulcan.
That is correct. He is a Vulcan.
Wait, what?
That's Tim Russ.
That's Tim Russ.
That's Tim Russ.
They did a really good job. I can't tell.
I know. I
Who's
know.
Tim Russ.
Tim Russ plays
Tuvok.
Tuvok in Voyager.
No kidding. That's Tuvok.
Listen to his voice. If you watch Voyager, you're going to hear that it's his voice.
The ever helpful Federation.
That's Tuvok.
Now I know which episode this is now.
Yeah.
See, I told you. Give me a couple seconds when I'm watching.
Yep.
I'll know exactly where we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is
Don't give
I'm
her
just
any
saying,
ratings or
Yeah,
anything.
I know. No, I'm gonna say everything. I'm just saying this is why are we doing this?
We have to do it all. You know that.
No. I mean, in this, no. That's what I mean. I mean, like, why it's that they chose to do it at this point in the series.
Oh, you mean why they chose this story?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, now this means that Tim Russ has played a human,
Mm-hmm.
a Vulcan,
Twice,
and a Klingon in Star Trek.
He's actually
When
played
he
a
played the
Vulcan
human,
twice.
did he play in Generations?
No. He was well, he was in Generations actually, but
Mhm.
also he was a part of the hijacking crew, the thief crew in the
Next
TNG
gen.
episode I call the Die Hard Picard.
That's not Starship Down. What is that one?
I don't. It's with the Barian sweep.
Starship Mine.
I don't know. I call it Die
Yeah.
Hard Picard for. All right, this is the equivalent of neutralizing data on TNG right now.
All right.
I take your threat. I take your threat seriously.
That's a bedpan.
I'm sorry.
That's a-
Did you say that's a bedpan?
Yeah. And the most
What
respectable.
the hell kind of bed you sleeping in the hospital?
luxurious one?
And then Renee Auberjonois went on vacation for a week.
You got to take the rest of the time off.
She's like, oh, thank God, a week without makeup. What?
Wait, what?
I said rule of
That has to-
acquisition 31. Don't talk about a friend's mom. They talked about his mom. What Odo did. He's just getting back at him from last episode.
Wait.
No, that was Bashir who said your mother told me. So that was Bashir. as he's getting
I thought
back
it
at
was Odo.
and also
They
just to point out, I mean, you didn't actually see Quark put that there. I mean, it's almost like you're making an assumption that guys en masse are actually Bajorans.
He's a slimy bugger that would do anything for money. He would sell out his own mother. It's logical
Would
to
he
think
sell
that
it?
Quark could have absolutely would sell out his mother.
We knew
Adam,
he was about
we
ready
will-
to
Adam,
sell.
we will
yeah.
mark this date. We will
Yeah.
mark this statement.
Yeah.
That he would sell out his own mother?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Well,
Sure.
wasn't Quark about ready to sell out his own brother for a spot on?
That's different. That's
How's that-
different.
That's not
Never
different.
make fun of
No,
a Ferengi's mother. Rule of
Very
acquisition.
different. Selling out your brother is different than selling out your Moogie.
That's,
Movie?
That's not. No, mother.
Oh.
Sorry.
I want Dax.
What?
Where with you?
I mean, which part of that?
Well, he has good taste.
Kid show
Dang.
fracture.
I'm just wondering what word, because I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
No, I don't want the girl.
Okay, yeah.
Steal my symbiont.
He wants the Gua'uld. And her.
Yeah, it's a ghoul. When the first started, did you think that John Glover's character's name Varad was actually running the show?
Yeah, I kind of figured he was kind of because he kept talking in the more important parts of directing them where they needed to go. So I was like, okay, so he's the in charge one.
That's Tuvok.
The Klingons are just more the muscle.
Yep, they're the muscle.
Is Tuvok in charge or no?
No.
Varad, the Trill is, and that's who John Glover is playing.
And now we found his objective is getting
Not
the,
related to
symbiote
Danny
from-
Glover, I'm assuming.
No, they do not appear to have relations.
Not at all.
I still think Quark's played. I think he sold somebody out.
Well, he's the one who arranged for them to get on the station.
But then I get called. I'm done. I'm done. I'm the one who called it in the first place, and you're like, well, why? Because he's a Ferengi? Yes, because he's a Ferengi who'd sell his own mother out. Listen, if I would come up with a rule, I would come up with Rule 31 if I would sell my mother out to throw people off to not know that I'd actually sell my mother out. Does that make sense?
But just so I understand that you believe that he would, that a Ferengi would give up his own mother.
Absolutely.
If,
and I'll
if
tell you why.
profit was possible.
Absolutely.
What?
And I would create a rule to make people think that I wouldn't.
Okay.
Oh.
So this you think it's possible that this rule is
Listen,
like just
profit
to
trumps
throw
everything.
people off.
Oh, absolutely. Profit trumps everything.
Okay.
Brad, make sure to clip this right away.
Don't worry, we're good.
Oh no! Oh no!
You can't remove Jadzia's symbiont. If you do, she'll die.
Is this kind of like Primta in Stargate where the symbiote has to pair with the host, but it has to pair with a very specific host? It's just, well, I guess isn't it? This sounds like the Primta.
It's a little similar in the sense of, well,
Or no?
This is
No,
some lore
no,
that will be explored later on. It's not the same way because the Goa'uld is a sentient being
And it
who
picks its host
takes
so,
over,
like,
who takes over
Okay.
the host.
yeah.
The symbiote is not the symbiont, rather. It's a mutual joining. It's
oh my goodness, it's the group that that Fractured hates.
the
Not the
Tok'ra.
Goa'uld. Yeah, the
Tok'ra.
Tok'ra, because
No,
that's
no,
that's,
no. This
they
isn't
work
a,
together.
Still different.
No,
It's
no,
still
no.
different.
This is completely different. A Tok'ra Goa'uld, the species of Tok'ra and Goa'uld, are literal parasites. They must bind. A Trill symbiont doesn't have it has
own
a personality. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
has it has emotions and feelings and designs and desires, but it doesn't have a single conscious mind that can take over.
Manifest.
Yeah, manifest. It's
Like
it's a culmination.
when Sam's father, Jacob, talks as Jacob, he's talking as Jacob. But when I forget his Tok'ra
Selmak.
Selmak, yeah.
Selmak is separate. They share the same body, but like Selmak will speak on his own through Jacob. So he like Jaeger's Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jacob
So,
can access
yeah.
Selmak's memories and vice versa, but they are
So-
two separate individuals.
Okay, so the Goa'uld has Daniel said, genetic memory, but the Trill have its own memory.
That's
They
also
they,
two
they
separate
carry the
things.
memories of the past hosts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
the Trill.
Yes. The
Okay.
Trill symbiote carries the memories of the life that it spent with the prior host. And like we say, it's a symbiotic relationship as opposed to a parasitic relationship.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, Fracture's confused, so I'm going to ask for him.
What?
Okay.
That's
nice of you.
It's this guy. He wants to be. He wants to be a Trill. Or
He
wants
is a
to
Trill.
Trill.
He wants to be a
He wants a
joined
symbiote.
Trill.
Yeah.
Earlier in the episode, when he was saying, I did all the testing, I did everything I studied for it,
I think, yeah.
and they said no. And Jadzia says, 1 in 10 Trill are chosen to be joined. So it's a very specific procedure they have to go through to make certain that the match is appropriate. Because if you pair it with someone who's maybe psychologically unstable, perhaps like this guy is,
I was gonna say like our friend here on the table.
yeah, then it's going to damage the symbiote. and then it may transfer on to future hosts. So that's why it's a very selective process.
So all Trill have a symbiote in them, but not necessarily all.
No.
1 in 10 become host.
All right, look at this. The Trill are a species of humanoids, aliens. On their planet is a subspecies of alien called the symbionts. And there are, and on a planet of millions, there are only thousands of symbionts. So the symbionts carry the memories of a host, and we're talking generations of people. Therefore, it's kind of like a collective knowledge bank that gets passed on and on. Symbionts are the greatest treasure of the Trill species. So in order to make sure it gets joined with an acceptable host, they have basically an organization that narrows down who is essentially worthy, who will only add to the greatness of each symbiote that is placed within a host. That's why Dax has had, at this point, we've counted, I believe they've listed 7 hosts at this point.
Yeah.
I believe Jadzia is the 8th host, 8th mentioned host. So it's an accumulation of knowledge and history that gets passed on to generation, and that is what it is. Trills are a species. The symbionts are another species that lives on the planet, an alien creature and they're genetically compatible where they can join with one another.
Hence why you said the symbiotes on their planet are not a parasite like the Goa'uld that needs a host.
Yes, because Goa'uld spawned on a planet all on their own and started taking over life forms just to survive. Because a Goa'uld cannot really survive without it. Those symbiotes can exist on their own in proper environment and live, because they don't need to eat or anything. They subsist within the host. But
this now makes sense. Okay, he wants to have one, but he's not compatible, so he's going to try to force. They deemed him incompatible. They deemed him.
The symbiosis committee, I think, or symbiont committee, I forget what it's called, judged him. You have to apply, just like Jadzia applied, and she was tested, and she was found to be compatible to be a host. She met all the requirements.
So it's really the greatest honor you can get.
It is a significant honor. Not all Trill want to do it. That's the other thing. So, it's 1 in 10 Trill are chosen. So that doesn't mean, it's basically a 10th of the population are joined as hosts. So, maybe they all apply, or maybe some don't. But it's very selective, and it's, again, like Adam was saying, you have generations by generations, and you want to make certain to preserve the knowledge. It also helps perpetuate their own species, so that hosts can contribute to the growth of society using the knowledge from prior hosts.
Yeah. So you don't want a scrote bag being a host.
Yeah. You don't want a derp. You don't want some psychopath or sociopath. Adam, could you imagine? Jesus, what if like a psychopath was a host for a Trill? Let's never do that.
Damn.
I don't believe she
go, Cisco, go.
Liberated any
I don't want to kill you, Commander, but
forced labor camp.
What?
I don't believe. Look, she just got her tail whipped. You're telling me she's the one that liberated all these?
Well, that chick that weighs her about like at least 30 pounds. Bigger woman.
It's because of her hair. That hair weighs a ton.
I just think it's cool.
Fun, that's for sure.
Hey, I'm just saying, I think it's cool seeing a Klingon fight on the Ops.
Yeah.
Why isn't Cisco choking her like he choked Quark?
Because she's got a phaser in his.
She got a phaser pointed at his chin.
It's right here.
Okay, and
phaser.
I didn't see the phaser.
It's not like his head is shaved and he's going to be badass and somehow get rid of that right now.
No.
Oh, why would you say that?
You have no idea how many hits Adam have been dropping this episode.
I know. I've been catching the foreshadowing.
Second of all, how did she get a Federation phaser?
I had the same question.
From O'Brien. She took her from O'Brien.
They had phasers, but they were 2. Odo doesn't carry a phaser, so I could get it getting it from O'Brien. But where did the other one come from?
You're right.
Odo doesn't carry phasers.
I didn't see the phaser. Still, I would have choked her.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna.
It's like Wayne Brady. Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch?
Yeah.
He should not be making that face.
We are getting all kinds of wrong from this right now.
Like to tell me how 4 armed terrorists got by our docking ring security grid?
You should not be using the word terrorist.
I knew
word
he
should
was going to
not-
say that.
That word should not come out of her mouth.
I knew you were going to say that.
Come
I'm like,
on.
God damn.
This is the pot or the kettle. Is she the pot or the kettle?
He used to visit the accommodation house where I worked. I used to help him relax.
As the brothel.
Yeah. The accommodation house where she helped him relax.
The old-fashioned way.
Mhm.
Oldest profession.
The oldest profession in the galaxy.
Once a Trill is joined, it's like a rebirth. He'll be an entirely different person.
I'm Jadzia Dax.
Did you guys notice it when Varad showed up? The personality difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He even had the undershirt. It's just like you remember he had that little turtleneck thing under his jacket there. Now it's just like it's just subtle things that you notice. Like that
She's gonna regret. She's gonna regret it. She will slowly realize that because he's not the Varad that she loved. She's now Jadzia Dax, and then she's gonna probably regret.
Yeah, so everything that Cisco was telling her, she's gonna realize, oh shit, it's true.
It's me. Curzon, Tobin, Jadzia. All the others.
who they haven't quite named yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll learn them all soon. It's just funny. It's like we will know all the host names. It's just like they haven't said it yet.
Yeah.
Why is he more tolerable now than he was 15 minutes ago?
What do you mean?
Well, now he's kind of growing on me. He's not. He's
Just
not.
now he's Dax.
He's a different person. He's Dax.
Yeah.
Think about this. He's got the confidence of Curzon, who's like the manliest of men, and the confidence of Jadzia, who was a hot chick. And now it's all like in one.
All the months we served aboard the Livingston.
Cisco's like, I got my bro back. I don't have to be awkward. I got a hot chick the whole time.
Now we can go.
Is he being genuine or is he being disingenuous?
Who, Cisco or Dax?
Yeah, no, Cisco. I can't tell if he's like, oh,
Cisco's proving a point. Cisco's proving a point.
Why are you wasting your time with him?
Because he's my friend.
I don't like him.
Now you don't like him.
Oh. He's a slimy bugger.
Little spider monkey.
I forgot about this.
Go for it, go.
The damage appears to be fairly superficial.
Oh,
What's happening?
crafty little Ferengi here. He's up to some shenanigans.
Wait for me at the rendezvous point.
Trouble in paradise, after all. Well played, Doctor.
That's like a bedpan you get at the Bellagio.
What?
Maybe like a bedpan that you get at the Bellagio or a.
What do you? I don't know what you think a bedpan looks like.
Look, it's got What do you mean? It's got the handles. It's got the thing on the entry point at the top. It's a bedpan.
When was it?
I don't know. I don't want to know what hospital you've been to.
You'll be seeing me again, Varad.
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
She did not just knock out this guy and then get whipped by. No,
it was a double team.
Kira's power level jumped up again.
He just went super.
I would point out that Odo had already struck him.
You just cold cocked the dude, and he's a Klingon. He's got at least 200 pounds on her in his forehead. Where's his 3rd-degree burn?
It was stunned.
Done.
I remember it all, Benjamin.
So they really go far down, huh?
What's up with the henna tattoos?
All the
To the
way.
feet. To
down.
the feet.
All the way, huh?
All the way down.
All the way, huh?
Look,
There'll be a
This will be a
swimsuit episode one day.
Yes, this is a spoiler, but it's okay. We will see Jadzia in a swimsuit.
It's a one piece.
Oh.
It's a
It's a
one
one
piece.
piece.
But
I'll
still
take
glory-
it.
It's
I guess you'll always be with me.
All right, so that's that episode. 4th episode, Invasive Procedures. We will do our traditional thing where say, Hitman, you want to go first? He goes, no, I'll defer to Fractured.
I mean, I'll go first because I gotta run out of here.
Oh, if you have to leave early, just you're gonna throw Latinum on the table without any comments, right?
Yeah, run. I'll give it a 6.
Okay. All right. So if you have to go, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for
You
joining
guys-
us, dude.
Oh,
Later,
yeah.
sir.
Cheers. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he had to drop out, but at least he was able to join us this week.
Absolutely.
We know
Yeah.
how he threw 6 bars of Latinum on the table. That's good.
Yeah.
But Fractured, what did you think overall of the show?
Overall, this episode was good. Like I noticed for this Cisco, and as we've kept commenting, he's definitely becoming more and more a forefront runner, which is good. So that was perfect part of it. But I did find a lot of the Trill extra information, more lore for them, and just what goes on for that. It still seemed kind of interesting that he warned though about the caution for moving the Symbiont from host to host, and we still kind of got away with that a little bit for this to keep Jadzia in the picture. Don't know how to look at that, but otherwise, like,
well, the joining is not instantaneous. It takes time for really.
yeah,
to
because
take
he was
hold.
talking. Yeah, he was talking about like the blending was still kind of happening, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
yeah,
said there
Cisco
would-
took a risk. Cisco took a risk.
right, and he was willing to do that, and I'm guessing that's what we're starting to see more and more of Cisco's personality getting there slowly but surely. So I remembered one of the things I was kind of wanting to bring up was he talked about the Dax Symbiont. They found him unqualified for that, but then does
No,
that
symbiotes in general, not Dax, just symbiotes.
Oh, so it wasn't in general.
In general,
Okay.
yeah. What happens is
No.
once you pass the process, then they go through pairing available symbiotes.
The way they had him acted, that was like this was a little more of a personal quest for him to especially seek out to Jadzia.
Well,
Because-
he convinced
because-
himself that was
He-
the best
yes.
way.
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess
that's
I
that's
see
a
that.
lot of. That's what you have to remember a lot of for Varad. He's the one who's making the decisions. So
Right.
he looks at this always like, this is the one that I think I'm the most compatible with. This is
Right.
the one that I want. Again, he was rejected for a reason, and he's not thinking rational. And,
Well, and
it's
I-
very
yeah.
clear the way he acts. It's like, it's like, I don't care about the prior host.
That's its own red flag with him even
Yeah.
becoming a host for the symbionts.
And like we were talking about throughout this episode, where Hitman's like, oh, it's like, is it like the Gould and the Tok'ra? And no, it's not.
No,
because
yeah.
Clearly,
Yeah.
that the Dax symbiote had no influence whatsoever over Rod.
yeah,
He did whatever he wanted, and even though the Dax symbiote, clearly having spent now 2 hosts as a close personal friend and also associate with Benjamin Cisco, it couldn't stop Varad even if it wanted to.
Right.
Varad's personality is very strong, and I think it amplified it. I'm going to analogize it to the way the super soldiers formula is described in Captain America: The First Avenger. It takes the way that Stanley Tucci describes it as Dr. Erskine is like, it takes the good of you and amplifies it. And if you're bad, it takes the bad of you and amplifies it, which is why the
Right. And
skull became even worse. But it amplified all the good in Steve Rogers, which made him even better, which is why
Right.
he was a suitable candidate. But you saw what happened. Like, the Dax symbiote gave the confidence, and it was really bad because Varad is not a good person. Vrod is a messed up dude.
Basically, and that's what the whole, like you guys said, the whole evaluation. He got the psyche, he got the whole thing. So he got the psyche eval and everything like that, and they completely determined him unfit to do that.
And it's clear what he did. Like he had no compunction about just killing another former host.
Right.
So I mean that really shows you the difference, like we're saying, between like Goa'uld Tok'ra and the Dax symbiote. The Dax symbiote is a repository of knowledge.
Yeah.
And it gets infused and a new personality kind of develops from it, which is why Jadzia Dax is probably different than Jadzia, the person who she was before the joining.
And now, like she kind of pointed to, is that now she might have a little bit of his personality.
Yeah.
Now being rejoined.
She's got a little bit of that. She's got a little bit of that memory. Yeah, it gives you a little more insight to the Trill society in this episode.
Well, and it was good to note that it is a selective process, and that not all of the Trill are joining and doing that sort of stuff. So that kind of, learning just how, because I almost thought like, oh, they all do this soul symbiont hosting thing, but no. So that was a good little tidbit to find out with this episode, and just like was a lot more to what goes on with the joining and stuff like that too. So
okay, I described this as a bottle episode, and there was no real background players. I mean, think about it. If you're on the station, you have extras all over the place.
There wasn't even a B plot. It was just this.
It was just full. Yeah, this was the sole focus, which was kind of good to kind of get something just finally just kind of this one contained story that we got to focus on, instead of like we got this story going on and off to the other side of the station we got this
I just read something. It's just so interesting. Go ahead.
No, that's basically it. Just that we got focus instead of like a bunch of different random stories.
So I wonder if it's partially due to the fact that they were budgetary reasons, because the first three episodes were probably budget heavy.
This was their cheap episode.
Yeah. Don't forget, in the first episode, they had to go rescue Leonalis, first episode of the season. So you're now shooting on location.
Right.
You're not shooting on the sound stage.
You're getting, you had to get certain permits and stuff like that in order to do that sort of thing. Like, depending on where you're shooting. So,
yeah. So I wonder if they did this just for the fact that it's a cheaper way to go. But here's the interesting thing that I learned. I was just looking at this. It's what I read off of Memory Alpha. During filming, Tim Russ accidentally punched Patricia Talman, who was doubling Nana Visitor in the face during a fight sequence. Talman noted everyone on the set freaked out, but I said, "No, don't stop. That was really good. It looked very authentic." So we finished the fight then and there. Do you know who Patricia Talman is? You may not. I don't know how much of a nerd you were in the 90s.
I was still learning the ways.
This is early 90s. There was another science fiction show focused on a space station in the early 90s.
Babylon 5?
Yeah, she was on Babylon 5.
Lita. Oh, she's hot.
She was Lita. She's Lita Alexander. And I guess she was doing stunts as well. So I'm just reading through because I'm trying to see if, like there was financial reasons for doing a bottle show. It's like Tim Russ punched Patricia Talman. What? So yeah, that's really interesting. Adam, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, pretty much everything I want to say.
Well, I guess Quark kind of redeemed himself in the end.
He did. He played the spider monkey, tackled a Klingon. Very brave of him. Very brave of him.
Which is why he's not thrown off the station.
Right. So that means we're able to go down to the Quark's bar and throw some latinum on the table and rate this episode.
Care to place a friendly wager?
All right, so Fractured, how many bars of latinum are you putting on this episode?
I think I'm going to go with Hitman. I'm going to go with a 6 as well.
Okay. Adam, what do you have to put on this episode?
It's a 5. It's not terrible. It's not great. It doesn't. It barely moves the characters along. Gives us a little bit of lore, but that's about it.
I'm in line with Adam. The only thing I would add would be that John Glover does a fantastic job.
Yes.
But I mean,
absolutely.
John Glover's he's
a great
John
actor.
Glover.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He'll always
Great
show up
actor.
and do the job.
Yeah, I mean, he knows his role. It's like consummate character actor. He knows what to do, and he nails it all the time. So, and like I said, when he became confident, I'm like, oh shit, that's Lionel Luthor. Oh crap. So yeah, this is so now we're on. We've just finished the 4th episode of season 2. Next week is going to be our 5th episode, and it's titled Cardassians.
Oh God. Well, now Hitman has to be here.
Right. Hitman has to be here. And hopefully, if all goes according to plan, we will have our first guest on the show.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I just got to
fun.
confirm everything. I think he's good to go. But yeah, we'll have a first guest on our show. So
Sweet.
As always, thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, click all the good buttons, and go watch the show yourself. Don't just watch us. Go watch good Star Trek. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.